Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Manning Field for a big one in the Catholic Central League Girls Soccer. St. Mary's taking on Bishop Fenwick. And as I always say, Thanksgiving. And now I have to say October because it's October 1st. Fenwick and St. Mary's will be meeting on Thanksgiving at Fenwick this year. Fenwick 6-1-1, and one of those 6 was against St. Mary's. They're trying for a sweep against the Lady Spartans. St. Mary's is 5-2-1. Steve Flaherty, the head coach for Fenwick. Jim Foley for St. Mary's. Eliza Brown, daughter of the basketball coach David Brown, in net for the Spartans. Claudia Keith, both of Fenwick's goaltenders are freshmen. They have 7 freshmen on their roster. Along with 4 sophomores, so 13 players are freshmen or sophomores. That's a pretty good group. So it's going to be almost impossible to pick up everybody's numbers because Fenwick is wearing white with gold that St. Mary's sometimes wear. And unless they're right in front of us, not going to be easy. Not Abby Constantine. She looked like it was Katie O'Neill throwing it in. They knock it back, and St. Mary's knocks it out, and they're calling it. Looked like they were going to give it to Fenwick because they did knock it off Fenwick. Constantine with the throw in gets headed up. They knock it deep down the far side. Fenwick is going to get there and keep it in play. St. Mary's gets there and knocks it away, and then St. Mary's knocks it deep. Cornell ahead. Demers looking to get in the middle. It got broken up. Fenwick knocks it the other way. They knock it deep. Mackey's back there to knock it away. St. Mary's clears it away to the near side. Demers knocks it deep. O'Neill trying to get there. Fenwick gets there first and knocks it away. Unusual 6:30 start here on October 1st, and that's because there was a St. Mary's JV football game here earlier against Spelman. Egan broke it up. Mackey knocks it very deep, and it tipped off a head, off a Fenwick head. Cornell almost got first, but Keith got out there and grabbed it before Cornell could get to it. And Fenwick knocks it into the Fenwick bench area. The weather is not all that great, although it's not raining hard. It was just kind of lightly drizzling. I think it stopped, but hopefully it won't pick up as we go along. Feliz gets it back to Constantine. O'Neill with it. looking for Demers. It went off Demers and went out of play. I talked about Fenwick young people, St. Mary's. A lot of their very good players are underclassmen. Cornell couldn't get to it. Fenwick clears it away. Off ahead, but they hit it the wrong way. Mackey knocks it back upfield. Bouncing off a couple of people. Nobody's come close to either goaltender. Broken up nicely. I think that was Foley. Trying to throw it in front, headed away. Cornell trying to collect. Fights through it. Demers to the near side. O'Neill ahead, back to Demers. And she overran it. They got it back to her, and she stepped over it. And now Fenwick knocks it out of play. I think that was Oceane Gorio. Egan back to Mackey. Flipping it across to Lynch. Cornell tried to give it back, and she threw it too far ahead for Foley, and it went out of play. Lynch gives it back to Mackey. She pops it way up in the air and out of play. Mackey steps in front and knocks it away again. Can't throw it in front. They wound up knocking it out of bounds. They were trying to throw it and center it out in front, hoping somebody was there, and then off the side of the foot, and it went out of play, and Mackey will kick it away. Morgan Mackey is something else. She's been a conference all-star the last couple of years. She was an Eastern Mass all-star. Outstanding player. And here she is breaking up the play. Demers a little shift. Too far ahead for O'Neill. Demers pops it straight up in the air. Headed away. Fenwick trying to push it upfield. Looked like Fenwick just knocked it out of play, and they're giving it to Fenwick for the throw-in. It looked like the defender just kicked it out of play. I don't know if they called something before that. Feliz couldn't get to it first. Fenwick trying to shake and bake and get around people. Lost it out of bounds. It goes off Cornell into the Fenwick bench area, so just back and forth. Nobody's had even a hint of getting near any of the two goal. So far, Keith and Brown could have bought a ticket for this one. Mackey knocked it out of play. Deep. And here's Mackey again, knocking this one up in the seats. It's a souvenir for half a dozen fans who came over and standing right behind the St. Mary's bench area. Cornell knocked it deep. Fenwick keeps it in. Knocked away nicely. It was Demers with a nice play knocking it away. Pushed it ahead, and they knocked it. Fenwick got there and knocked it out of play. Trying to lead it for O'Neill. Cornell has it blocked as she's trying to get the shot off. Oh, Foley couldn't get the shot off either. Egan broke it up and knocked it away. They go deep. There's Mackey heading it away. Fenwick gets it back. Demers picked it off. Down the near side to O'Neill. Throwing it to the net. Coming way out of the net is Keith, the young freshman goaltender, to pick it off. It was going to keep going wide of the net, so it's not really a shot on net, but she came out just to make sure. Foley took it away nicely. And the pass, Cornell was facing downfield. The pass went just slipped by her and went all the way to the Bishop Fenwick bench. Trying to get there first, knocked away by Mackey. He's the deep center fielder on defense. Here's Mackey again, knocking it away. O'Neill knocks it upfield. Demers pushes it to the near side. She pushed it so Cornell could get it on the fly coming up. Cornell just couldn't get there in time, but went out of play. Had the right idea. Fenwick went down, trying to throw it out in front. They get knocked out by St. Mary's. Fenwick will get the first corner kick of the game. Not a bad little crowd for this one, considering it's not the best night. They get it up, and they knock it in. The other 40 of them. Right? 13? 15. We're thinking it was Madison Soji who got the goal. I told you it was going to be awful difficult to read the Fenwick numbers, and not to mention the fact that after she scores, she gets surrounded by a herd of people. So the first shot on net, the corner kick was perfect. It laid out in front, and Fenwick was there to get a foot on it and knock it home. So just a little over 15 minutes left. Fenwick gets on the board and grabs a 1-0 lead. Nice little shift, gets around, trying to throw it in front, blocked nicely and knocked away. They knock it upfield. Demers collects. So we were correct. It was Madison Soji. Big bounce. Fenwick looking to collect. It gets knocked away. And it's Feliz knocking it upfield. Demers just kept it in play. Taken away by Cornell. Fenwick gets it back and knocks it out of play. Demers gets around, trying to throw it in front, gets it out there. It gets knocked away by Fenwick. Popped up. Broken up by Feliz. She tried to get it to the near side. Knocked it behind everybody. It's going to go out of play. Fenwick will make a substitution. Caitlin Clark. We can see the number when she's right in front of us. She got the throw in. Bouncing around, Cornell knocks it away. Demers collects. Broken up. Battling. O'Neill knocks it ahead. That's Reardon trying to get it by. And Fenwick knocks it out. They're going to give Demers a well-earned rest. Along with O'Neill, they've been working hard. Constein will throw it in. Knocked out again by Fenwick. Feliz threw it in. It got blocked. Fenwick on the move. They knock it deep. It's a foot race. Coming all the way out to the 10-yard line is Brown. Lynch did a nice job of blocking the Fenwick player away so that Brown could go get it. Mackey pops it up. Foley keeping it in. Fenwick takes it away. Little give and go, and he pushed it too far, went out of play. St. Mary's will get the throw in. So we've got almost reached the halfway mark. 14 seconds away from the halfway, 36 seconds away from the halfway mark. 20:36 left in this first half. Fenwick on the board first. It's 1-0 Fenwick with a timeout down the field. St. Mary's trying to collect. They do. Foley knocks it deep and pushed it too far. Went into the Fenwick bench area out of play. So the rain has come. Looked like it was slowing down a little bit, maybe stopping, and all of a sudden now is a very fine mist. And it seems to be blowing in Fenwick's favor right now. Flags aren't over on the flagpole over on the far side, are not fluttering all over the place, but the rain is a very heavy mist blowing from right to left. Not the best of conditions. It's good they're playing on turf, that's for sure. Fenwick trying to throw it in front. Mackey stepped in front and knocked it away. And they score from a very tough angle. From just outside the 10-yard line. They knocked it home short from the near side. It went under the top crossbar, just inside the near post. A perfect shot. Absolute perfect shot from just outside the 10-yard line. Let it fly. It was over the head. Brown had no chance. It was over her head. The only thing I could hope would be either hit the crossbar or went over. But it settled right under the top crossbar, just snuck inside the near post. And Fenwick has grabbed a 2-0 lead. They're giving it to Grace Foley. What an absolute perfect shot. Eliza Brown had no chance whatsoever. All she could do is watch it go over her head and hope it didn't go into that Grand Canyon of a net. And unfortunately, it just snuck under the top crossbar inside the near post. And you can't be any more perfect than that from that angle. And Fenwick has grabbed a 2-0 lead. So this is very tough. Both these teams are good. Fenwick 6-1-1. St. Mary's one game less, 5-2-1, but they're both good. It was only a 2-1 game at Fenwick. So it's tough to spot either team 2 goals and expect to come back. Nice block there by Mackey taking it away. And Fenwick cleared it into the Fenwick bench area. St. Mary's will get the throw in. Fenwick has had the better of the play, obviously, with the 2 goals, but territorial-wise, they've had the better of it. St. Mary's hasn't come close to getting anything on young Claudia Keith, only a freshman. Battling going on, they drop it back. Fenwick pops it toward the net. Fenwick gets a head on it, and Brown will watch it go out of play. From a tough angle, he threw it out in front. There were 3 people there. Fenwick was able to get a head on it, but they couldn't do much else, and it went wide right and out of play. And right now the rain is just a pain in the neck because it's like a very heavy spray that's blowing from left to right. Demers is back in. They throw it upfield. Keith will knock it away. And Feliz will knock it out. Just looking straight ahead out of the press box, you say, well, it's not too bad. But then you look over to the right or left and look up into the lights and you see that very heavy spray. Brown comes out to the 5-yard line, plays it on a big hop, and she'll kick it away. Long lead pass. That was Constantine breaking it up. Constantine's only a freshman. Demers couldn't get there before Fenwick knocked it away. And Marys takes it away. Fenwick takes it back. They're going to call Fenwick, I think, for contact. Mackey will kick it away. Cornell got a head on it. Feliz with it. Try to lead Demers. Fenwick's defense cleared away. O'Neill back in, knocks it deep. Demers hustling, she's going to get there. Trying to throw it in front, blocked, and then Fenwick blocked it, and then they knocked it out. Good hustle by Demers to keep that ball in play. Feliz trying to knock it down. She actually knocked it ahead. Fenwick clears it away. And they knock it deep. And Keith will come out and play it and kick it away. Mackey knocks it away. Deflected away by St. Mary's. They give it back to Mackey. She drives it upfield. Fenwick brings it right back. Trying to take it from one side to the other. Samantha Gallant just kept getting pushed back upfield. Fenwick finally trying to go. Good attempt with the pass. They threw it right down the middle, and when they got there, it just bounced over the foot of the intended receiver. and bounced to Eliza Brown so she could knock it away. Fenwick coming back. They wind up in the far corner. And it's going to go out off Fenwick. Well, substitutions for each team. 2-0. Fenwick. Skips all the way through to Cornell. Kept it in. Fenwick took it away. And then Fenwick knocked it out into the St. Mary's bench area. Feliz couldn't get around the defense. Nice little poke check. And again, I can't give a lot of credit on either side to plays being made because it's very hard to pick up the numbers from up here. The gold numbers are very difficult, and St. Mary's numbers are gold as well. They're difficult. It's just I know them a little bit more because I've seen them more than Fenwick. Brown knocks it away, takes a big bounce. Feliz pumps it to the near side. O'Neill looking for it. She was trying to get around Clark, and it goes out of play. 10 minutes and counting left in this first half. 2-0 Fenwick. The goals by Madison Soji and Grace Foley. No relation to Jim Foley, the coach of St. Mary's. St. Mary's wish I was saying Jen Foley. Cornell winds up with it. Trying to knock it ahead to Jen Foley, and it got blocked, knocked away. Foley hustling. Fenwick takes it away and knocks it into the Fenwick bench area. Good hustle by Foley to keep it alive. Cornell trying to head it to the middle. They knock it deep. Cornell gets there, and she tipped it by just barely, and Fenwick picked off the tip. And they take it right back to the St. Mary's end. They push it by down the far corner, and they're not going to get there before it goes out of play. A little too much mustard on that little push, and it went out of play. Mackey will kick it away. St. Mary's has not tested Claudia Keith. They haven't come close. Demers tipped it by, but couldn't go get it. And Fenwick knocks it out. Cornell will take the throw in. Now she doesn't take it. Fenwick knocks it out again. Tip, and Keith just hustled and got there. I think it was Demers. Keith looked like she had it easy, then Demers got a little piece of it trying to tip it away, and then Keith had to grab it again and take it away from her. And she might have got a piece of either Demers' foot or the ball when she tried to grab it, but a good job by the young freshman. They knock it ahead. O'Neill can't keep it in. That had, I'm not sure what that was. I don't see any players down. I think the official saw it. I think when Demers made that contact with Keith, I don't know if she got bumped. There might have been a smidgen of blood they saw, because that was the reason for the stoppage. They're saying Demers over to the sideline to be looked at and be replaced. So it's the only thing I can think of, because they just shut everything down. And Demers, for no reason, there was no substitution to be made. She just went to the sideline and hope she's going to be okay. She was involved in that little contact with Keith at the side of the net. But she went right on playing, so I thought Keith got the worst of that deal. But I guess I was wrong. They come down the near side. Alani Gikas kicked it deep. Brown was able to get it. Fenwick Shirley's had the better of it. They've got the 2 goals and have kept it in the St. Mary's end more often than not. St. Mary's has not come close. That one play that was a deflection and Keith came out of the net and grabbed it at the side of the net. She made one, you really can't call it a save. The kick was going to go wide left and go across field, but she came out almost to the goal line or beyond and picked it off in the air. So that's the only time she's really handled the ball. I wouldn't call that a shot on net. Off Fenwick got a play. Broken up. Fenwick keeps it in. They dump it to the middle. On the far side, St. Mary's breaks it up, knocks it deep. Fenwick back there, and they'll kick it all the way back to Keith. St. Mary takes it away. Cornell drops it off for Feliz. Keith out, sliding across, didn't come up with it, and then did come up with it. She slid, she overslid it, and then had to reach back and grab it. I think that was Reardon that was looking for it. It looked like Reardon might take it away with nobody in net. And then Keith reached back again and grabbed the loose ball and laid on it like it was a fumble recovery. They try to knock it to the net, too much foot. Knock it high and wide off to the left and out of play. And we're in the final 2 minutes and counting of this first half. A big one for Fenwick. Mackey kicks it away. Reardon winds up with it. Fenwick takes it away. They get it in the middle. Lead pass down the near side. Shot. They shanked it. They were looking to get the shot with the left foot. Reached out. Had to reach out a little bit more than they would like to. And he pushed it wide left and out of play. I think that was Marissa Orlando with that. And now they blow the whistle. That's going to be the end of the first half. So Fenwick got two big goals. The first one by Madison Soji. Absolute perfect kick. The second one by Grace Foley. Knocking it in from a corner kick out in front, getting a head on the ball. So at halftime, Fenwick will go to the locker room. Halfway through a sweep over St. Mary's. They beat them 2-1 at Fenwick. And at halftime here, they're halfway home to making a sweep. It's Fenwick 2, St. Mary's nothing at halftime. We're almost at the start of the second half. Fishers are out. Here they come. I thought Fenwick went home. They're coming out, going straight out to the field. St. Mary's is already out there getting ready to start. Fenwick comes out now. We mentioned Fenwick is trying to make it 2 in a row over St. Mary's. They beat them at Fenwick. And they're halfway to what they need. They're leading it 2-0. Foley has it broken up. Felice gets it back. Constantine throws it ahead. Blocked. Constantine with it again. It went out off St. Mary's. Madison Soji, Grace Foley, the two goal scorers. Here's a foot race. Demers was going to win the race, but then she stopped because the ball was too far and went out of play. Oh, Kayla Demers Jr., you wind her up and she keeps going for 80 minutes. She doesn't stop. She's like the Energizer Bunny. You can get tired just watching her. The rain looked like it was slacking off a little bit. Now it's back with that very heavy mist spray. It's just being blown across the field from right to left. So St. Mary's has a little bit of a breeze at their back now. St. Mary's trying to get something going. They didn't come near the goaltender, Claudia Keith, the young freshman for Fenwick. And now it gets knocked out by the Lady Spartans. These same two schools, as I mentioned before, are back on the slate for Thanksgiving Day. This year it'll be at Fenwick. Next year it'll be here. So this year it'll be Thanksgiving Day at Fenwick. Next year it'll be Thanksgiving Eve at Manning Field. with English and Classical, obviously taking over on Thanksgiving Day. Cornell took it away. Demers trying to tip it to her, and she tipped it too far. Keith will come out, and she'll kick it away. Drives it almost out to midfield. Fenwick knocks it loose, and we're going to whistle. And they're calling St. Mary's, I think, for a little hip check. That wasn't really much. The two of them kind of bumped together looking for the ball. Fenwick actually had the ball, and they called contact on St. Mary's. Fenwick will kick it away. And they kick it deep, headed away. And that was Mackey knocking it away. He banged it off Fenwick. Fenwick trying to throw it out in front. Tipped away. And it's going to go out of play off St. Mary's. Fenwick get the throw in down deep on the far side. They double team her from behind. She has to give it up. Nice little shift there. A little give and go. St. Mary's took it away. Fenwick knocks it back deep again. Fenwick comes away with it, and Mackey just stuck her foot in. One-on-one, Fenwick was going to take it away, maybe get a shot, but Mackey came in, just got a foot on it and knocked it away. And there's Mackey knocking it deep again. Cornell knocks it away. They're going to let it go all the way to Keith. And she held on to it for a long time. Demers bearing down on her. She was out almost to the 15-yard line, wound up letting it bounce and picked it up inside the 10. And Demers was bearing down on her. She almost waited too long. Cornell coming down. Pass is blocked. Fenwick coming back. Down the near side. Foley slows it down. Reardon almost picked it off. Fenwick. They drop it down. Out in front. Fenwick gets the shot. It goes wide left. They were trying to get out in front and went by everybody and got picked off back around the 15-yard line on the far side. They got a shot off, but they pulled it wide left and out of play. Off Cornell. They knock it deep. Fenwick knocks it away. Upfield. Clark couldn't get to it. They knocked it away. Here comes Demers. Broken up. Fenwick took it away. They knock it deep. Kornstein is back there. Gets it to O'Neill. Deflected away. St. Mary's just can't get going. Fenwick all over him defensively. Nice little shift by Clark to get around. And they hold off the defender so that Brown can come out and get it. And that was, I think it was Mackey. Might have been Lynch with a nice play. And Lynch couldn't keep it in, it went out. Fenwick trying to center it. Bounces loose. They got a foot on it, was bouncing up around knee high. They almost got a head on it to tip it. It got deflected. The head and the defender all came together. I think it was Egan out in front who got a piece before they could get the head on it. It deflected back. They had a good shot out in front, but it bounced almost waist high, and they tried to get a foot on it, and they just popped it over the net. If that ball was on the turf, that would have been a goal, because she surely had an awful lot to shoot at, as it was. Fenwick trying to get around, couldn't get it to the middle. I think that was Soji trying to throw it out in front, and it went wide right and out of play. Good effort. Mackey will keep it away, and again, Fenwick putting all kinds of pressure on St. Mary's. And there they are again, right back at it. Popping it up, getting it to the middle. And we got a whistle. And they're calling against Fenwick. Now, it's not a timeout. Again, I'm not sure really what this is all about. The officials are telling everybody to get together. I don't know what they called. Last time they did this, they sent Demers. Now, I have no idea what they were calling. I was trying to find out from other people in the press box what they had any idea what the officials were doing. I don't know if two people came together and they were going to call it on both people. They just stopped it. They went over in front of the, almost near midfield, in front of the Fenwick bench, and had a little, like a hockey face-off. So I have no idea what that call was by the official, and there isn't anybody up here who knew what the call was either. And now St. Mary's player gets run over by Fenwick, and then the Fenwick player falls down as well. They ran over Ellie Reardon. Mackey with the free kick. Fenwick knocks it away. And here they come back the other way, trying to knock it deep. Foley hustles and gets in front of it and breaks it up. Coming down the near side. They dump it to the middle. Shooting it to the net. the basket catch made by Brown with a couple of white shirts bearing down on her. Solid shot right dead center of the net. Popped up to the far side. O'Neill bumped off the play. Fenwick knocks it right back in the St. Mary's end. To the near side, Foley. They take it away. Cornell takes it away. Foley with it. Ahead to Feliz. In the middle, nice pass. Foley grabbed it, and Bishop Fenwick breaks it up. Fenwick, they tipped it by, and they went to go get it, and they got tripped up, and I think that was Mackey. I think it was Moretto. Made a nice little shift, tried to get by, and she made a nice little move to tip it by, and then when she went to go get it, Mackey reached out and got a piece of her ankle and took her down, so Fenwick will get a free kick. They kick it right to the net. It gets tipped away. Fenwick, another strong left-footed kick. Goes high and over the net and out of play. I'm trying to read those numbers. That could be Kaylee Jerks. With that strong left foot. St. Mary's trying to come back. Fenwick steps in front and knocks it away. Foley will take the throw in. We'll have substitutions first. So now it'll be Lynch taking the throw in. Knocked out. Clark with the throw in. It goes out. Headed away by Egan. Downfield. Shannon Lovett, we haven't seen her before. Haven't called her name before. She's in the lineup. She got her head on it. And they're calling it off her. Fenwick will throw it in. That spray of rain from right to left has slowed down a little bit. We got bodies going down. He'll call it on St. Mary's. Headed away by Fenwick. Knocked away by Egan. Foley winds up with it on the near side. Taken away That's a nice little takeaway by Clark. Not only broke it up, but just took it away and started it back upfield. Love it. Got a foot on it. Making a couple of nice little shifts was Jenna Durkin. They knock it to the near side. Clark looking to get it to the middle. It gets knocked away by Lynch. And Fenwick knocks it right to Coach Steve Flaherty. St. Mary's will take the throw-in right in front of the Fenwick bench. Fenwick heads it away. Knocks it loose. And they knock it back again. Fenwick has just dominated territory-wise. The only thing St. Mary's have done is just kick it deep. And again, Keith taking a chance and let that ball roll a long way before she finally picks it up. And again, she had a St. Mary's player bearing down on her. Foley knocks it away. Fenwick just has not let St. Mary's get started. They haven't come close to getting a shot that Keith has had to make even a halfway difficult save on. Fenwick leading it 2-0. 2 goals came in the first half. A picture-perfect goal by Madison Soji. St. Mary's knocks it out. And Fenwick knocks it away. And it goes out into the St. Mary's bench area. So we've just passed the halfway mark. 8 seconds past the halfway mark of the second half. The 2 goals in the first half for Fenwick is still the difference. Fenwick leading it 2-0 over St. Mary's with a timeout down in the field. We come out of the timeout, St. Mary's with the throw-in, and once again, Fenwick is going to clear it away. And knocked into the St. Mary's bench area. St. Mary's quickly with the throw-in, but I think they were going to give it to Fenwick. Fenwick was going to take it in. St. Mary's grabbed it and threw it in quickly. They blew the whistle and said, I don't think so. It's going the other way. And it goes the other way again. Fenwick will throw it in. And one more time. So this time they throw it to the middle of the field so they can finally get it in play. From the near side to the far side. Now Fenwick knocks it deep, headed away by Mackey. And I think we're going to get Fenwick for a little push and knocking St. Mary's down. And get out in front. Just a little love tap, but it was enough. Mackey kicks it away. Jada Mateo in the game. Jim Foley trying to find some kind of connection that can help to unlock the offense. They just can't get anything going. It's been all Fenwick. A little give and go. And St. Mary's has to clear it away. And then they knock it out. Tipped, headed away. And St. Mary's knocks it out again. The majority of this game so far. And now they turn it over. She was about to throw the ball in. I don't know, probably because of the rain that has really slowed down quite a bit now. But she went to throw the ball in. It just slipped out of her hand, fell to the ground, and they give it back to St. Mary's. And knocked out by Fenwick. And once again, they bring it into St. Mary's territory, trying to knock it deep. Knocked away. They tip it deep, and they take it all the way back to Keith, who kicks it away. That's about the only time she's touched the ball. When it's rolled in from long distance, she's picked it up and kicked it away. Otherwise, they haven't even come close to what would be a shot on net. Lynch to Foley got broken up. DeShanis has it taken away. Mackey tracking it down. Fenwick picks it off. Trying to knock it deep. St. Mary's broke it up. They got it back. It skips past. Mackey with a little shift takes it away and knocks it upfield. They get it to the middle, and St. Mary's, that's O'Neill, I believe, got knocked flat. 15 minutes and counting left in this one. Fenwick 2-0 over St. Mary's, looking to make a sweep of the two-game series. Foley stepped in, took it away, and then she's got double teamed and gets knocked away. Fenwick takes it right back to the St. Mary's end. Foley broken up. DeShanes has passed, trying to send Demers in. Knocked out by Fenwick. Fenwick can make a couple of changes. St. Mary's will as well. They blow the whistle. Subs hadn't gone off the field yet. They'll do it again. St. Mary's will get the throw in again. Fenwick knocks it away. St. Mary's will let it go out of play. And I think the St. Mary's touched it. O'Neill is saying, I didn't touch it. Now they give it back to St. Mary's. O'Neill with another quick throw in. The fan trying to get the shot off. Now Fenwick knocks it away. And they carry it upfield, right back into St. Mary's end. They go way to the near side. Connect the pass. Trying to walk in. Good hustle by St. Mary's coming back and breaking up the play and clearing it away. But Fenwick picks it off. Trying to center it. Skip by everybody. They tip it past. They're trying to get that left-footed shot off again from dead center. St. Mary's knocks it out. Clark will throw it in. Tip to the middle. They throw it across. Trying to walk in. They knock it all the way back. Almost like Fenwick is freezing the ball there for a minute. They're just passing it around the perimeter. St. Mary's breaks it up, but right on the foot of Fenwick. Trying to walk in, tipped and knocked away nicely. Foley looking for it. Foley really all by herself, and it goes out off Fenwick. All the way back to Keith. She'll hold on to it until somebody comes to try and take it away. She throws it upfield to Clark. They push it upfield into the middle. Long lead pass. They connect. Cut back to the middle. Lead pass again. They're out in front. Trying to center it. And it went off Brown and in. She threw it across. Brown had it. And it just popped off. It went right through the wickets. Mia Sapalis. Mia Sapalis. Most surprised girl in the house. She got the pass down the near side, walked in, tipped it, had to go get it deep from a tough angle. Looked like Brown had it easily. She came out, held the post, went down, made the save, and all of a sudden she looked behind her and the ball trickled in the net and went right through the wickets. And with 10 minutes and counting left, Fenwick makes it even harder for St. Mary's, if not impossible. Now with the score 3-0. Feliz trying to get around, can't center it. Fenwick knocks it away and knocks it out. It was Emma Burke trying to get to it. Fenwick knocks it out. This is about as close as St. Mary's has got to getting to the net. The throw in down deep here and on the other side. Cornell trying to connect and throw it out in front. And they just knock it away. And now it went out off St. Mary's. Fenwick will make a substitution. It went off Lynch. Riley Lynch. They're banging off Cornell. That one just slipped out of her hand. You can see the ball was wet. She was going to throw it downfield. It wound up going about 6 inches in play. She just slipped right out of her hand. Foley with the quick throw in. Lynch, they're going to call Fenwick for taking Lynch down. Mackey will take the free kick from outside the 35. And that was going wide left of the net. Big hop to Keith. St. Mary still hasn't got a shot on net. Keith bangs it past midfield. Headed away, Demers looking for it. Cornell looking for it. Tipped away from her. St. Mary's knocks it deep. It's going to go out of play. Fenwick will make another substitution. And Keith will kick it away. St. Mary's trying to keep it in. Fenwick knocks it deep. Gets headed off St. Mary's, out of play. Fenwick will get it right about at midfield for the throw-in. So Fenwick is going to make it 2 in a row as they take it away and try to throw it in the middle. Big hop to Brown, who comes out and makes the play. Eliza Brown, we mentioned his bodies go down. Both bodies went down. Everybody got crunched on that play. They're going to call it against St. Mary's. Everybody went up to get it. The two players, they both went up. They both came down. They probably could have called it either way. They called it on St. Mary's. We told you Eliza Brown is the daughter of the basketball coach, David Brown. First year, she's only a sophomore. She's getting her feet wet, that's for sure. She's played well. From just inside the 45 to the near side, St. Mary's clears it away. They knock it upfield. Coming up, Fenwick hustles and knocks it out. That's Jenna Durkin. Foley with the throw-in. Feliz knocks it deep. Fenwick is going to let it go out of play. Four minutes and counting left in this one. Fenwick is going to go to 7-1-1. There'll be 2.5 games out of the playoffs. Or 2.5 they need. They'll only need 5 points in their first 9 games. Nice try by Cornell, just got under just enough to punch it over the top crossbar. Maybe a little bit wide to the right. Good effort by Susanna Cornell. And she's only a sophomore. But playing 20 games, you need 20 points. 2 points for a win, 1 point for a tie. Fenwick is going to have 15 points. They'll need 5 points in their last 11 games. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're going to get them. St. Mary's will need 9 points in their last 11 games. So St. Mary's playing well so far this year. They'll have a very good attempt and probably will make the playoffs. And they do it. Last year they needed to win, I think, either the last game or the next to last game. Coming out, didn't get it, and they knock it in the net. Brown tried to come out and get it, and Fenwick got to it first. Again, virtually impossible to pick up the numbers, and then you try to follow the player upfield, and she gets surrounded by a whole bunch of teammates. Fenwick heads it away. Mackey drives it wide. That would have been a goal. If that was on net, Keith actually stepped inside the net. We're in the final 2 minutes. I was hoping they would announce the last goal. Finola Cochran got credit for the goal. For that last shot, Keith actually went into the net, and the shot went wide left. If it touched her, she would have been in the net, and it would have been a goal. So Fenwick gets 2 in the first, they get 2 in the second. So it was 2-1 the game at Fenwick. But St. Mary's couldn't hang with them today. They really never came close to even putting any pressure on Keith in the net. The back line of Fenwick, and the only one I could pick out was Jenna Durkin. But Caitlin Clark, I think, was there as well. Alani Geekus, I'll give them all credit. Samantha Taché, Taylor Cerrone, Grace Shaughnessy, McKenna Gilligan. I'm sure not all of them played, but I'll give them all credit because I couldn't pick up numbers. I did know Caitlin Clark and Jenna Durkin. But Soji and Grace Foley, Madison Soji and Grace Foley got all that Fenwick needed in the first half, making it 2-0. And that back line has just kept St. Mary's away from their young freshman goaltender. Mackey will take the kick from the 16-yard line, just at a tough angle from the 16-yard line. Nice save. That's the best shot of the night. Mackey put that right top shelf to the far side. That was going in. And Keith went high in the air, got a hand on it, and knocked it away. Nice save by Keith. With time winding down, it was Mia Sapalis, and then Finola Cochran getting the 2 in the second half. And St. Mary's just couldn't get any offense going at all. That back line of Fenwick kept them at bay. And the young freshman, Claudia Keith, will pick up the shutout. Fenwick gets 2 in the first, 2 in the second. They make it a sweep, beating St. Mary's at Fenwick, now beating them here at Manning Field. Fenwick moves a little closer to that playoff spot. They're now 7-1-1. St. Mary's will drop to 5-3-1. As we mentioned, Fenwick will win both halves, home and away, against the Lady Spartans. So congratulations to Steve Flaherty and the Fenwick Lady Crusaders getting it done here. And St. Mary's just couldn't get any offense at all. So the final score, Bishop Fenwick 4, St. Mary's nothing. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.